to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. Donald Trump is definitely a madman, but he is a madman that is losing his marbles. I mean, this man, he doesn't know what the heck he is talking about. And it is really sad that there are so many people in his pocket and in his corner propping him up when this is not for the best benefit of the entire country. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to play this clip because he recently was asked about addressing the cost of child care in the country. This was at an event for the Economic Club of New York. And if you listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth, it is like, did I just hear what I heard?
Vital concern to parents, whether Republicans or Democrats, the high cost of child care in the United States. President Trump was asked about it yesterday during his visit to the Economic Club of New York. His answer rambled on for 2 minutes. We'll give you the gist of it here. We're just going to play the very beginning. Take a listen.
If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. You know, I was we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that because look, child care is child care. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country.
What? Did you hear that? I'm like, what is he talking about? But what's worse is the people that asked him this question at this Economic Club of New York. Okay, maybe they don't want to be rude, but why couldn't they say, excuse me, Mr. Trump, I'm not exactly sure what that answer specifically has to do with the cost of childcare in the United States. Could you really break that down? Like, okay, maybe they really liked him there, but they know that was like a whirlwind of BS. And the fact that they sat there and allowed him to say all of that and did not try to get him to make it make sense. Not that he would have been able to make that make sense, but I'm just saying, you have these people like on these networks, News Nation, Fox News, One America Network, which they're not news stations, they're propaganda. You know, they're all they do is push the, I was about to say Republican, but they push the MAGA, bullcrap. Just put it like that. So they're going to spin it and try to make that make sense and make it seem like, oh, look, he's talking about the issues. No, he's not. No, he's not. None of that made any sense.
With us now is Reshma Sajani. She asked the question yesterday. She's a member of the Economic Club of New York's Board of Trustees. I don't know if you watched the debate in June, but I tried 3 times to get him to answer that question. You tried a 4th. Did you get anything out of that?
Kind of. I may have gotten a little bit more than you did because he did answer the question. And what he told us is that childcare expenses are no big deal. The fact that you're drowning in debt because of them, sorry, but not sorry. And he also told us that, no, I don't have any ideas or a proposal or legislation, and it's insulting. And it's
He didn't answer the question. Like, her even saying that is disingenuous because he did not answer the question. Answering the question means you ask a question and your response is responding to the question, not going around the mulberry bush and just saying a bunch of stuff that does not have anything to do with what was said. Because he said, childcare is childcare and you have to have it, especially in this country. What the hell does that even mean? He's nuts.
Insulting to parents who are constantly having to choose between funding their daycare and feeding their kids. And the thing is like, if you don't have a plan to solve childcare, you are not fit to be president.
Senator J.D. Vance, his running mate, also was asked about the child care issue this week. Let's run a little bit of his answer.
Like grandma or grandpa wants to help out a little bit more. Or maybe there's an aunt or uncle that wants to help out a little bit more. If that happens, you relieve some of the pressure on all the resources that we're spending in daycare. Now, you talk about just daycare. Let's say you don't have somebody who can provide that extra set of hands. Empower people to get the skills they need. Don't force every early child care specialist to go and get a 6-year college degree where they've got a whole lot of debt and Americans are much poorer because they're paying out the wazoo for daycare.
So the grandparents part of the answer, get your aunt and uncle to help out, that got most of the attention. That's what Democrats focused on. But Vance did talk about some policy in there, reducing requirements and regulations for child care workers. What did you make of his answer?
Well, I think the just ask grandma part is absolutely a fantasy and not accessible to most Americans.
Exactly. I'm not even going to go into what he said because he's just absolutely ridiculous. He's just on this ticket because it's something that's going to be beneficial for his resume moving forward. But anyway, Donald Trump is absolutely insane. That answer to that question was not an answer to the question. He didn't know what he was talking about. He has no plans. He has no agenda. But yet he sits there and he spews lies about children going to school. You go to school, you send your son to school, and then they go to school, they get an operation that the parents don't know anything about, and then they come back home as a girl. Do you know anyone that has had that happen? But you'll have yokels that follow him that will sit and believe that bullcrap. Yeah, I heard about that because of these transgenders and the pronouns and they want to have boys being able to use the girls' bathroom. So yeah, it's stupid. That does not happen in any state, anywhere in this country where a child goes to school and then they have a operation to change their gender from male to female. And then at 3:30 when the bell rings and they go to pick up their son, then they have a daughter sitting there at the car pickup area with a dress on and and bowls in their hair. It's so stupid. But that's what's being said by this person that people feel should have the opportunity to be in the office of the presidency for a second time, who's now running for the third time. Listen, he needs to be in somebody's mental health facility. He does not need to be in the White House. I'm over this bullcrap. I'm going to keep talking about it. I want to know what you guys think about it. So you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.